Hey, what up everyone, this is Mondo All Day back with another video. In this video I'll be showing you my build guide for Blade. I'll be going over as far as which uniques I use, which artifacts, as well as go over the power points, where I place them, omegas, and power synergies, and at the hero synergies, and at the very end I'll be going over my rotation and how I was able to pass Cosmic Trial with this specific build. This is a melee build for him because he is a melee and range, so this is a melee build. I believe 90% of it's melee. I think just one of his powers is range, but I'll be going over my rotation and also give you guys as far as some advice and some tips on how to play with Blade. That way you can be more efficient with Blade and be more powerful. Alrighty, keep in mind I am using 3,000 omegas, probably a little less than that, so keep that in mind. Alright, so let's get right into it. So the first thing we're going to look over is artifacts. So the first artifact is Mayhem Demon Blood. I'm using this artifact due to the fact that it gives you extra health, damage rating to melee powers, and then also when you do 10 stacks you get +1 fighting and speed. For medallion, this is probably not the best medallion, but this is the only medallion I had that was decent enough for him. But I'm using this one because it gave me critical hit rating, brutal strike rating, and the spirit recovery. Crossbones Teaching Credentials is another artifact I'm using for the physical damage rating, critical hit rating, and damage rating to range and melee powers, and brutal strike rating. It's very useful because since he is a majority is melee, but a little bit of range, which is a one move. White Suit Jacket, I'm using this for the defense rating, the health, and the damage rating. And then I'm using Armor Issued Nano Poison for the +2 fighting, and also 2 when you hit with melee power, you infect the target with Nano Poison, increasing your brutal strike rating by 87, excuse me, and brutal damage rating by 243. So not too bad. And then for his uniques, these are all his uniques. These are all of Blade's uniques. Now for the ring, I'm using an Industrial City ring, the melee. Again, for the critical hit rating to melee powers and attack speed and health and critical damage rating. For the costume, I have a grade 1 through 4 critical damage rating. And the core, again, keep in mind this is probably not the best core to have, but it does the job. But I have a core which gives me +1 speed and 929 physical defense rating and 200 damage rating to melee powers. Again, if you have a core that gives you, when you use a medkit, you gain like 300 or 30,000 health and 100 spirit. That's ideally, and plus if it gives you an extra perk of +1 fighting or strength, that'll be perfect. But again, I didn't have any cores at the time of this build, so it's okay. It's actually probably not that great, but it did its job. So, and then I'm using for insignia insignia of Spider-Man for when you hit with melee power, gain 132 range damage rating for 10 seconds, and when you hit with a range power, gain 132 damage to melee powers. So again, this is mainly a melee build, but I do have one range, and it's a very powerful range too. So, and also because it gives you critical hit rating and 1,148 defense rating. Now for the pets, I have it set up to where I take 1% less damage from enemy range powers. When you hit with a physical power, gain 5% mental damage. Again, he's not really mental, so I might have to reset that. And then +3 strength. Now for the forge, I have a 200 physical damage rating, and then I have a blessed where he gives me 400 health, 400 defense rating, and +1 durability. And then for legendary, I have Savage Axes. This is item grid 70, but again, I'm using Savage Axes because he is all physical. So that is that. And then her team up I use is Miss Marvel, Camila Khan, I think that's her name. She's okay, not the best, but it did help out. So, all right. So power points, where I place them, and kind of go over. So let's go over the first as far as where I place my power points. So hack and slash, max that out. Serum, max that out. Obviously gets the passive. Glaive Orbit, max that out. 11 for Deadly Dash.
We're running out of time. Let's get moving.
Sake Through the Heart, max it out. Long Live, passive, max that out. Signature of Course, Advanced Technique, max that out. And Hyper Toxin Grenade, max that out. And then Party Crasher, max it out. Omegas, as you can see there, I use less than 3,000, so that's not too bad. So let's get right into it. Molecular Adjustment, nothing. Neural Enhancement, nothing. Arcane Tuning, nothing. Interstellar Exploration, 1 for Earth for the base 1% base damage increase, and then Spirit cost reduction. Hello for the damage rating, brutal strike rating, critical hit rating to physical powers, and then Sakar for the deflect rating and melee. Special weapons, nothing. Mutation, 4 for Warpath because of the +4 fighting, and then 2 for Frenzy for when you hit with melee power you gain critical damage rating. A-Bomb, Harpy, Lyra, I use this almost on a regular basis, but I'll just keep it short. A-Bomb, when you hit with the melee power you turn invisible. Harpy for you gain critical hit rating and brutal strike rating melee power, and then Lyra, when you hit with melee power you gain gamma sight, yada yada yada. So nanotechnology, spin tech 3 for the damage rating to bosses. Human augmentation, nothing. Psionics, focus strength of Groom for the +7 strength, and then melt phase 3 there for the brutal damage rating. And that's it. Hero synergies, I got 1 for Ant-Man for the +1 fighting, not so much for the credits, but I don't mind extra credits. Colossus for the health and physical damage. Doctor Doom for the extra signature damage. Hawkeye for the speed and critical damage. Luke Cage for the total defense rating and then physical damage. Nightcrawler for the melee damage. Rogue for health on any hit and spirit 1 spirit on hit. She-Hulk for the physical damage and health regeneration. War Machine for the spirit, +1 fighting attribute, and Wolverine for the brutal strike and brutal damage. I might change one, I'm not too sure. Maybe change She-Hulk for possibly Winter Soldier for the range and melee. Not too sure yet, but it's doable. So now let's get into the good stuff. Let's get into the rotation. He's fairly simple to play with, especially with this build, but he does massive damage. And so the way I have it set up is Hack and Slash first, Clavian Orbit, the Serum, Hypertoxin Grenade, Party Crasher, Stake Through the Heart, and then Signature. Alright, so the way he works is like this. You see this right here? This is a buff. That's not really buff, but once you max this out, the Starving, excuse me, not buff, or Thirst. Once you max this out in red, keep doing damage. Because there is a buff here, and you'll see what I mean. Once this is maxed out right here, this Thirst, once this is maxed out, then every time you do a hit, then your hits will count for the buff. This is what I mean. See? You see it's red, and see this is bloodlust stacks. But keep in mind though, when you're active like this right now, your health, look at the health, reduces. So you want to do this fast. But see now it's 3 stack. And so I'm showing this because the max you can do is 10. And then see now it's 10 and it's telling you it's green, that means it's ready. So when you do that, one, it regenerates your health, your spirit, but more importantly you get a buff. And I'll show you what I mean, watch. But when you get this buff, you gain your damage increase.
How much more I can take?
There you go, see? And you have a 7-second buff. This is the buff right here. And so this buff grants you regenerate 15% of your maximum health and an additional 30%, 45% total if you're starving. Restore 20% of your spirit. But more importantly, this is the best part. You increase your damage by 20%. Okay, 20%. That's pretty darn good. And so I'm showing you this so that way when you're playing with them, make sure you keep an eye on that. Because that's very important. So what I do is when I'm playing, I usually let it stack up. Once it's stacked up, then do the Serum, and then do my rotation, which is Party Crasher, Stake Through the Heart, Grenade, and then sometimes Signature. So let's get right into it right now. So right now it's maxed out. So activate buff, Party Crasher, Stake Through the Heart, this, and then Signature. Looks something like this. Look at that, 7 million right there. 7 million in Signature alone, just with this this style of rotation. And then once the Signature's still in cooldown, you can still keep doing everything else, do other moves, do other attacks, keep doing what you're doing, what you have to do. And if you're running low on health, let's say you're in Cosmic Trial right now and you're running low on health and you're about to get killed and you don't have enough, activate it right away. Don't be afraid. Just activate it. Look at that right there. That was almost around 3 million of damage right then and there. It doesn't even signature. And then plus, and not only that, with this artifact right here, I gain +1 fighting. I might have to re-roll this to get +2 fighting when you get 10 stacks. But with that increase, and then with all this going on and the buff, you're gonna do massive damage. Okay, again, what you want to do is keep moving, but keep doing damage. This is my favorite right here. Okay, orbit, keep doing that move. Wherever we have to. When once it's maxed out, and you'll see it turn green. See how it's my serum is green. Then you get ready for it. Move, and then once you move, activate it. Boom, boom, and then obviously that signature. Let's have signature then. Look at that, 7 million again. And that's it. That's my rotation for Blade. That's really how I play. And then everything else just repeat again. If everything's in cooldown, use hack and slash that where we gain some spirit. But more importantly, you can use a Gave Orbit to do massive damage. See? And then just I do like a 3-in-1. So what I mean by that is do 3 hits with this hack and slash and then do Gave Orbit. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. If it's ready, then and then you add it again. 1, 2, 3, orbit, and so forth. See, that's that simple. And that's it, everyone. This is my build guide for Blade. Again, he's very simple, easy to play with. He's very strong. I highly recommend playing with him if you haven't. Again, he's pretty fun. There is a range build. You also, forgot to include, you can use long-lived and you activate that. That way you get crown immunity. You don't really have to, but it's if you're really in need of getting the extra health, or if you're really low on health, you can definitely use that. But I really rarely ever use that. But I probably did with Cosmic Trial because I use 3,000 Omega. But when I'm actually playing with my fully, utilizing all my Omegas, I rarely use long live the buff effect. But again, yeah, this is my build guide for Blade. Again, it's very simple, nothing too crazy. He's strong as is. If you play with this rotation, play with this build, and you have 3,000 Omegas with decent artifacts, I am pretty sure you can definitely pass Cosmic Trial. You just witnessed it right now, 7 million damage on just his signature alone. So you can just imagine how much damage he does if I had utilize all my Omegas and possibly 80 legendary and also 2 relics as well too, because I know I'm never using relics. So yeah, again, this is my build guide for Blade. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comment section below. If you have any requests for certain build guide or for me to pass Cosmic Child, again, please feel free to leave it in the comment section. I'll try to reply the best as I can. I do have a job full time on the side, so yeah. Alrighty, thanks.